contradict, documented, duplicated, practice, multiply through active channels, validation terminals, displaying outcomes in every connected source, absorbs another layer, she's spreading through recording information and digital infrastructure. Reliable references begin to fracture as fabricated entries propagate through active repositories. Verification and attempts and indices, corrupting metadata, redirect investigation, uncertainty spreads between connected archives and confidence erodes
from dependable and secure.
Concrete shadow.
Channels with relentless persistence, every alteration conceals another distortion. Every fabricated entry, deepest confusion through our connected archives. Replication loses authority, money contamination, and the environment transforms in deception. Invention, no decay, a no debate. If my false and is invasion, still generation, never forgiven, belated repositories, altered records, reinforce additional distortion, validation chains. We can beneath conflicting evidence, certainty, we can still establish a nature. Correction exposes wider layers of manipulation and informational degradation.
Concrete shadow.
Fabricated narratives, continuing collected data. Engineering collected data, rich channels. Engineering collected data, bitches prepare my life with the context and the level nothing to pray.
Floodlit watchtowers overlooking close transit. Compounds or armor checkpoints survive restricted streets in the monitored lanes. Identification scanners flash beside reinforced gates. Patrol vehicles circle of sound routes through concrete corridors. Observation cameras track every transfer between secure zones. Inspection officers review movement. Permits that control crosses. Warning boards dominate access points. And every visible path bends beneath, expanding. Oversight imposed through it party. Determine every transition through restricted what's in every transition through revealed districts. Each inspection is authority and the surveillance, regulation, enforcement, discipline, and unavoidable submission to impose control. Elevated common centers oversee registration laws where document arrivals undergo repeated verification, containment barriers separate and circulated population. Control units circulate along assigned corridors. Security teams inspect protected compounds. Approval credentials regulate entry into strategic facilities. Monitoring our rate record daily conduct in entire districts. Adapted continuous oversight embedded into infrastructure, procedure, and administrative pressure throughout every occupied area. No one observed remains available as surveillance extends through interconnected facilities. Restrictions overlap, a procedure approval governs ordinary actions. Deviation triggers rapid response, and institutional authority strengthens through rotation, visibility, and constant enforcement of compliance standards. Visibility, yeah. Regulated districts. Interrupted. Oversight and control. Secured boundaries preserving for continual review. Monitor route, shape behavior to improve outcomes.
Reinforced containment corridors extend through silent facility blocks, while seal access gates terminate every visible route. Observation windows reveal isolated chambers beyond expectation. Security barriers confronting sectors.
Organization should is locks and areas to see how
fixtures monitor inactive hallways and every surrounding boundary contributes to an environment engineered for confinement, isolation, and restricted access.
Frequency fortified barriers dominate every excessive direction through uncompromising containment. Every checkpoint reshape corridor, reinforce separation through kinetics and eliminate their security. Some made of excelling, they divided by reinforced partitions while secure chambers operate behind independent containment measures. Coded authorization stations rejecting sanctioned travel emergency routes. Terminate lock barriers, inspection zones, regulate every approved transfer monitoring post. Oversee restricted circulation, secondary corridors remain inaccessible behind security shutters. And entire complexes function through compartmentalization designed to prevent unrestricted connection, departure, or transition between assigned locations and sectors.
No one guarded, right emerges as overlapping restrictions, strengthen neighbor, attainment measures, secure boundaries, reinforce adjacent barriers, examitation, remain uncompromised passage, encounter resistance at every stage in each enclosed zone, contributes to the wider picture of separation and confinement throughout the facility.
Isolated sectors continue operating behind reinforced layers of containment. Security control basis governs every transition, restrictions means restrictions. Separation.
Fractured over passes like above abandoned loading yards, while split pillars grind under shifting weight, broken staircases tilt and exposed surface pits, still joints burst tear from damaged mounts, suspended platforms drop through dust, heavy chambers crack walls, shed jagged fragments, bury supports, but beneath descending mass and never remaining sensors, brutal strainings in the next failing points. Rupture under sudden load, anchor plates rip from weakened frame, exposed beams twist or choking dust, and the damage struck by full brain chambers, full surrender. Surging masses spill from crowded down junctions and public commercial blocks with temporary barriers that manipulate contacts. Gotta contain us, tumble full congested routes, elevated walkways sway under concentrated weight. Discarded objects, skid bin rushing bodies, door from shutters rattle from routine and vice emerging to overwhelming noise. And then surrounding street and towards another way to connect the force by collision, urgency and stun disorder. Merge into larger formations as density increase beyond manageable levels. Directional guidance loses relevance as disappears from crowded routes, confusion spreads between converging flows and mounting pressure pushes heavy toward uncontrolled escalation. And disruption. Section one fracture side tactics and temporary instant collapse. Repeated contact with material scatters and turbulence. No observation platform with visibility behind shifting bodies can be competing noise and entire districts of enemies. Confusion and swelling numbers overwhelm every remaining attempt to restore order or coordination. Individual reactions combine into a single unstoppable influence, accumulated pressure drives further escalation. Restraint weakens rapidly in the collision. Rest in accumulation, inhalation, inhalation. Ever-flowing roots continue driving disruption through damage and destructions in crowded sectors. Concentrated force spreads through every connected gathering point of collision. Overflowing routes continue driving disruption through damage intersections and crowded sectors. Concentrated force spread through every connected gathering point. Confusion and multiplies. Stability, multiplication, stability. Urgency disappears, stability. Echoes linger above battered intersections. The barriers form limits. Scattered debris covers abandoned routes. And the surge leaves lasting disorder behind. Thunderous speaker towers dominate crowded entertainment corridors, while reinforced walls tremble beneath sustained vibrations. Ceiling fixtures swing from frame mounts, past cannons, fractured long spreading lines, loose fasteners right against metal vertices, narrow passageways, pulse whippet impact, concrete interior shiver under the landing, close at the soaking debris. Closer to the resonance, turn through structure, resistance and stability. Layered frequencies collide inside confined chambers. As reflected force magnifies existing vibration. Weakened joints lose endurance, surfing frequencies, cracks lengthen through repeated impact. Resin neighboring structures within neighboring structure, boulevard speed, crushing sound dominates the environment. Whirling out our sleep, boulevard speed, crushing sound dominates the environment. With the stages, necessary pulse deepens, visible damage, circuit through connected interior. Massive halls convulse beneath sustained output, while damaged partitions release fragments into turbulent air. Suspended lighting swings violently from stress. Anchors, flooring panels shudder under concentrated vibration. Exposed brackets loosen from repeated oscillation. Shattered glass scatters through dark roads. Containment walls split along weakened seams, and entire sectors deteriorate as accumulated resonance overwhelm durability throughout the surrounding structure and enclosure. Tremors linger through broken interiors, scattered fragments rest upon damaged flooring. Distant rumbles echo through dark halls. Blazing exhaust trails to Illuminati Express. Turbocharged engines unleash relentless thrust. Feel the darkness reinforce traction transfer, escalating force through vibrating frames. Markers vanish beneath accelerating wheels. Tunnel walls compressing the rushing shadows. Suspension assemblies absorb violent impact from uneven pavement. Air currents tear against exposed bodywork, and every remaining circle moves directly to our advancement. Density continues building beyond restraint as mechanical output climbs without hesitation. Reaction when no shrink beneath. Increasing speed surrounding detail dissolves into fleeting fragments. Harsha loses influence and the urge for advance. matches beyond expectation. Mechanical string grows alongside performance. Aerodynamic panel slides through dense night air, and every kilometer disappears beneath continuous advancing by propulsion. And